Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Talk Tech Now. And today I want to talk about why you shouldn't get an iPhone. So this may be kind of a big topic. It's been a topic for a while now, and it's kind of been a topic since Apple has existed. But here's probably five good reasons why you shouldn't get an iPhone. Firstly, being well, the price. iPhones are expensive, and looking at the more of like the flagship ones, you can expect to pay like 700 to like over like $1,200, and that's a lot of money for a lot of people, right? Now with Android, for example, this is a Galaxy S10, and I did trade this for my X10R. Um, it's still a really nice smartphone, and they're actually not that expensive. I mean, you can get this for like $500, right? New or refurbished, maybe a little more, and that's like $200. There's a $200 difference. You can also get like a 10R for like $600, but still, I mean, Android is always going to be cheaper than Apple devices. Up next, we probably features. For example, the 10R doesn't have three cameras; it only has one. Right? It doesn't. It has a notch that's kind of annoying. This one has a hole punch cutout. I'm not too big of a fan of that, but it's still pretty neat how it works. Um, and yeah, this one does have a headphone jack. That's something you just don't see anymore. Fingerprint reader on the screen. That's why there's this weird big circle, but when it's on, you don't really notice it. Yeah, with the 10R, other iPhones, like iPhones don't even have fingerprint readers like built in on the screen. You have like the fingerprint like reader, like the standard one that's built into your home button, like with the SE2 that just came out not too long ago. Um, yeah, and I mean, there's phones out there, for example, the Galaxy A50 that has more features than like the newest iPhones, which is kind of baffling if you compare them. I mean, the Galaxy A50 costs, what is it, like $300? And the newest iPhone costs like $1,200. That's like four times more. Yeah, so, and that's kind of disappointing. I mean, you're paying so much for a phone, you're not getting like features that like cheaper phones like that cost like maybe half price have. Secondly, talking about features, I mean, headphone jacks and the screen. This has a 440p screen in it. I'm pretty sure it does have that one. Yeah, 440p screen. And iPhone, I mean, the iPhone 11 doesn't even have a 1080p screen, which is kind of upsetting. I mean, you're paying $700 for a phone, like at least put a 1080p screen in it, but nope. And that's just like why? Like there's phones out there, like for example, the Galaxy S4, right? It already had a 1080p screen, and that was like back in 2013, and that was amazing because like 2013, I mean, 1080p screen in a smartphone is pretty cool. And like with like iPhone, right? Like during that time, 2013, sure the iPhone like 5S, right? Came out in September or something. Like that had like a 640p screen. That's like, yeah, there's a really big difference there. And I think we're at third right now. I'm not too sure, or second. So yeah. so yeah. So up next, and up next, iPhones are kind of known as status symbol. I mean, you can show off with them. And with Samsung, I mean, sure it looks cool. I mean, if you show up with something like this, but like, it's like what is it? It's like having like a BMW. I mean, sure they're nice cars, right? And you can show off with them. Well, you can, but like if you see like a cool BMW and like a Ferrari or like a Porsche or like a Lambo, you're probably gonna take the Lambo over the BMW most of the time. Um, yeah, that's one of those things. Like, there's going to be more people talking about iPhones, and that's why iPhones will always be a little bigger than Samsung devices, but Samsung are still great. I did have other opinions about Samsung in the past. Yeah, I didn't really like Samsung, but Samsung is still a really, really good brand, and I highly recommend you get a Samsung device. Fourth, probably this is more like features, but with the screen, that's one of those things, and the battery, and just well, support in general. Support is kind of one of those hard points with iPhones. See, iPhones get about 4.5 years of updates, a little more than that, like 4 years, like 9 months, and about that, I'm not too sure. And that's good. That's good and all because they expect you to take the phone, use that phone for like 2 years and sell it, and the other person's gonna use it for 2 years, and that's all good and stuff, right? But there's this one big key thing. When iPhones don't get supported anymore, they kind of just sit there and they just kind of vanish. Right? I mean, you don't get supports. The apps don't get support. The apps don't run properly, and it just kind of just sits. And at the end of the day, like a few months or years go by, it's just a phone with a dialer on it with a browser that's doesn't have any, like, it's not even updated properly, and like you can just use it to call and text. That's pretty much it. That's kind of what happens with iPhones. But with Android devices, um, it's a little bit different. With Android is more like a kind of like an open source. I mean, you can write apps for these things. You can do it with Apple over like Apple Swift or whatever it's called, but that's usually more complicated. With Android, I mean, you can write like an app in like C plus and convert it to like an APK file and like load it onto here, and it'll probably run just fine. Yeah, and with the open source thing, for example, let's say I know people have like a Galaxy like S3, right? It was a backup phone, and you can load Android 9.0 Go on it. Sure, it's a Go. I mean, it's not like the latest and greatest, but still it'll run fine. And you can put the newest apps on it. You can watch YouTube. The phone will run just fine like a normal phone. Sure, the performance is not gonna be amazing, but it's gonna be pretty decent. And that phone is like 8 years old. I mean, it kind of baffles me. There's kids playing Fortnite that are like younger than this phone. Pretty impressive. And um, yeah, and that's just one of those things I really like about Android, because you can have like, I'm pretty sure, like if you have a Galaxy S3, right? It's about 8 years old now. Like if you put like the custom ROM on, I mean, Android 9.0 will still get soft security updates. Just change the battery of your phone. A phone could easily, an Android phone could probably easily last you 10 years if you choose wisely on your software and stuff. I mean, sure, who keeps a phone for 10 years? Yeah, so that's kind of it. I did want to do 5 hard points, but I only got to like do like 4 or something. But still, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. In my next video, I do have something up. I bought a phone lot, right? I can't show it because that's kind of spoilers. But I bought a phone lot for $5. These are all, I don't know if they work. They're just laying here on my bed, in a bag, and yeah. And I have another video that's coming out of a Google Pixel 2 that I really want to talk about, and this one right here. So those are my next 3 videos. Please stay tuned for those videos. Anyways, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a nice day.